Have you ever felt that sudden tightness in your chest when someone says, "I'm coming over"? You smile and say, "Yeah, sure, come by." But deep inside, your mind whispers, "There goes my peace." If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Today, we're exploring the psychology behind why some people really hate having guests over, even if they like the people who are visiting. For some folks, hosting is a blast, the laughter, the buzz, the chats. But for others, home is something special. It's their safe spot, the place where they can finally relax and be themselves without any pressure from the outside world. Let's dig into this a bit more. Home isn't just walls and furniture for these people. It's like a personal sanctuary, a quiet zone where they can let down their guard. Out in the world, everyone has to wear a kind of mask, being polite, smiling, making small talk. But at home, that mask comes off. Breathing feels easier, thoughts slow down, and the constant demands of life just fade away. When a guest shows up, even a close friend or family member, it changes everything. The air feels different, the quiet gets broken, and a subtle tension starts to build. It's not that they don't like the guest. It's that their private space feels invaded, like someone stepped into their inner world without asking. This feeling ties into something psychologists call territorial comfort. Think of it like this. Animals in the wild mark their territory to feel safe and in control. Humans do something similar, but it's more about emotions. Your home is your territory, every little thing in it, from the way the couch is arranged to the sounds you hear or don't hear, is under your control. It's your emotional reset button. When a guest arrives, it's like dropping a stone into a still pond. The water ripples out, and even though nothing terrible happens, the calm is disturbed. Suddenly, you have to think about what the guest might need. Do they want a drink? Is the place clean enough? What if they stay too long? These small worries add up and make the mind feel unsettled. Now, let's talk about social energy. A lot of people who hate hosting are introverts or just folks who need a lot of alone time to recharge. Out in public, they're on, chatting, listening, being engaging. It's like running a battery down. Home is where they plug in and recover. But when someone comes over, that recovery time gets interrupted. The mask goes back on, and they have to perform again, even if it's just casual talk. This drains them slowly, like a phone losing battery in the background while you're not even using it. They might enjoy the visit in the moment, but afterward, they feel exhausted and need extra time to bounce back. Here's something interesting that not many people talk about openly. Even the kindest, most caring people can feel a huge wave of relief when the guest finally leaves and the door clicks shut. It's not rudeness or being antisocial. It's just that silence and solitude feel like fresh air to them, like oxygen they didn't realize they were missing. Psychologists explain this through the idea of emotional boundaries. These are like invisible walls we build to protect our inner selves. People who value their space have strong boundaries. They don't push others away. They just guard the parts of their life that keep them feeling balanced and whole. Home isn't a place for showing off or entertaining. It's where they can be real, without anyone watching or judging. Why do some people feel this way more than others? It often goes back to how they grew up. Maybe their childhood home was always chaotic when guests came over. Parents stressing about cleaning, arguments bubbling up, or just too much noise and activity. As kids, they learned to associate visitors with tension or discomfort. Now, as adults, even a simple visit can trigger those old feelings without them realizing it. It's like a hidden switch gets flipped in their brain, bringing back stress they thought was long gone. This is part of what makes this topic touch on darker sides of psychology, the subconscious fears and patterns that shape us without our full awareness. In dark psychology, we often look at the hidden motives and deeper, sometimes uncomfortable truths about human behavior. Here, the dark part isn't about evil intentions. It's about the shadowy corners of the mind where these preferences hide. For instance, hating guests might stem from a deeper fear of vulnerability. Letting someone into your home means exposing your real life, the unmade bed, the pile of dishes, the way you truly relax. For some, that exposure feels risky, like giving away control. They worry, even subconsciously, that the guest might judge them or disrupt their carefully built routines. This can lead to avoidance behaviors, like making excuses to meet outside instead of inviting people in. Let's expand on that preference for neutral spots. Many people who dislike hosting love hanging out with friends, just not at home. Cafes, parks, restaurants, these are neutral ground. No one has to host, clean up, or feel like their space is on display. It's easier to control the time. 2. You can leave when you're ready without awkwardly hinting for the guest to go. This way, they protect their home as a private retreat. Psychologists note that this is common among those with high sensitivity to their environment. They're more aware of sounds, smells, and changes around them, so a guest's presence amplifies everything. A friend's laugh might be fun outside, but at home, it echoes and disrupts the peace. Another layer to this is perfectionism. Some people hate having guests because they feel pressure to make everything perfect. The house has to be spotless, snacks ready, conversation flowing just right. If it's not, they beat themselves up inside, thinking they're a bad host. This self-imposed stress turns a simple visit into a big ordeal. In dark psychology terms, this could link to underlying insecurities or a need for control that borders on obsessive. They might not even realize how much energy they waste worrying about what others think. Over time, this builds resentment, not toward the guest, but toward the whole idea of hosting. But wait, is there a flip side? Absolutely. Some people thrive on having guests. It's how they feel connected and alive. For them, home is a shared space, a hub for relationships. The energy from visitors recharges them, like extroverts drawing power from crowds. Understanding this contrast helps us see that neither way is better. It's just different wiring in the brain. Research in psychology shows that introversion and extroversion are on a spectrum, influenced by genetics and experiences. If you're more introverted, hating guests isn't a flaw. It's your brain's way of protecting your energy. Let's think about real-life examples to make this clearer. Imagine Sarah, a busy teacher who loves her students and colleagues. At work, she's outgoing and helpful. But when she gets home, she needs quiet to unwind. Reading a book, watching TV alone, or just staring out the window. If her friend calls and says, "I'm in the neighborhood, can I drop by?" Sarah says yes because she doesn't want to seem rude. But inside, she's panicking. Is the living room tidy? What if the visit drags on and she misses her downtime? During the visit, she's polite and chats, but her mind is counting the minutes. When the friend leaves, Sarah sighs in relief and flops on the couch, finally free. This happens to millions of people every day. Or take Mike, who grew up in a big family where relatives were always popping in unannounced. As a kid, it meant chaos, loud voices, kids running around, adults arguing over politics. Now, as an adult with his own quiet apartment, any knock on the door brings back that old anxiety. He prefers planning meetups at a bar or park, where he can enjoy the company without his home feeling invaded. These stories show how past experiences shape our reactions, often in ways we don't fully understand. Psychologists like Carl Jung talked about the shadow self, the parts of us we hide, including our need for solitude. In dark psychology, exploring this shadow can reveal why we avoid certain social situations. It's not about manipulating others, it's about self-awareness. Recognizing that you hate hosting doesn't make you a bad person. It means you're tuned into your needs. Society often pushes us to be social butterflies, but forcing yourself to host when it drains you can lead to burnout or resentment. So, how can someone deal with this if they want to? First, set boundaries kindly. Tell friends, "I'd love to see you. Let's meet at the coffee shop down the street." Most people understand and appreciate honesty. If hosting is unavoidable, keep it short and simple. Set a time limit in your mind, or even mention it up front, like, "I have an hour before my next thing." Prepare your space in advance to reduce stress, but don't aim for perfection. Remember, true friends come to see you, not inspect your home. And for those who relate but feel guilty, let that go. Protecting your space is self-care, not selfishness. You can love people deeply while craving alone time. It's okay to say no sometimes. In fact, honoring your needs makes you better at relationships because you're not resentful or worn out. The truest comfort for many is a quiet room, a comfy chair, a warm drink, and the soft sound of their own thoughts. No distractions, no performances, just peace. If this resonates with you, you're part of a big group who values that inner world. Tell me, do you feel this way too? Share your stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this dive into the psychology of hating guests, hit that subscribe button. We break down everyday habits in simple ways, especially from the angle of dark psychology, where we uncover the hidden sides of the mind. I think you'll like what comes next. See you in the comments.